Well, hello! It looks like I got tagged for a game of Truth or Dare. Now, I haven't played this since I was in high school, so this is quite entertaining for me. Thank you, Jaina. But I'm up to it. Haven't quite decided who I'm going to tag next, or what questions, or what dare I want to set for the people I tag. So, if you're watching this because I tagged you, you'll have to wait till the end of the video where I add it on at the end when I think about this a little bit more. But Christine's sitting in church with the kids, and I'm looking forward to coffee afterwards once she gets out. So I've got a few minutes to at least answer the questions that Jaina posed for me. So here we go. The first question that Jaina had to ask was, what embarrassing grade school experience have you ever had? Now, I don't remember anything in grade school, like grades kindergarten through 6th grade, but I had a quite embarrassing moment in my 8th grade science class. Now, this is one of those days in science where the teacher doesn't want to teach, and so they make you sit and read the chapter as a class for the entire class period, so everybody takes a turn reading. And I always prided myself in reading quite well, and so we were reading about, I don't know, microscopic organisms, and when it got to my turn to read, the paragraph that I read had the word organism in it, but for whatever reason, as I was reading this paragraph, the word that came out of my lips was orgasm, not organism, and it sent the entire class into hysterical laughter. And fortunately, my science teacher, he chuckled and redirected the class into onto the next paragraph. He didn't let them laugh too long. He just made a slight joke. No, Celeste, I don't think that's the word that they were intending for you to read, so why don't you try that again? And anyway, it didn't last long, and I didn't get ribbed about it too much after that day, so I felt quite fortunate, because at that time in my life the kids picked on me quite a bit. So that was Mr. Maynard teaching at Riverview Junior High in Murray, Utah. So if anybody knows Mr. Maynard, I don't remember what his first name was, but he was one of the coolest science teachers I ever had. So, but that was my most embarrassing moment that I can remember from school. The next question that Jaina posed was, what was your best family vacation you ever had? And Christine and I, we've been married, going on 2 years, but it's taken us a while to get financially stable as far as having jobs that give us vacation time and having the money and the time to take vacations. So we really haven't had a family vacation together other than visiting family for like holidays. And while those have been good, I wouldn't call them memorable. I think the best time that I've had with Christine that stands out in my mind is a trip that we took. We actually drove together from Michigan to Utah in my little Geo Metro that I owned at the time, and it took us 3 days to get to Utah. And during those 3 days, she and I were just on this long road trip together, trying to get from point A to point B. But it was so much more, because we had long stretches where we could just sit and talk, and she thought ahead and brought a book, something about the Red Hat ladies, I don't know. It was a cool story, and she read to me during those stretches where we just had time on our hands, and it was just a magical time where we fell in love even more. Fun how we learned how well we meshed together. So that's probably the best family. Well, it's not really a family vacation, but it was a trip that we enjoyed together. And then the last question that Jaina posed was, what is your favorite t-shirt, saying, or slogan? And since I really don't have one, and I really couldn't think of one, I think I'll just take the dare on this one, because the dare that Jayna gave, and why she gave this kind of dare, I'm not sure that I would be so generous, is to eat a calorie-rich dessert. And you know, eating a calorie-rich dessert really is something that I love to find excuses for. So I went and I picked myself up an eclair that's covered in chocolate and whipped cream. And so thank you, Jayna, for the excuse to eat a calorie-rich dessert. I'll be working out at the Y for the rest of the week to burn this off. But anyway, for those of you who I've tagged to keep this going, after I get done with my my calorie-rich dessert, I'll add on to the end what you are expected to answer or do if you fail to answer. So thanks, Jayna, and I don't think I'll be this nice, but thank you. Okay, so here are my nominations for Winwin's tagging game. I tag Sarah and Jamie, Robin Jabez, Friday the 13th, Zeno Kyle, and Corinna 000. So what do you need to do now that you've been tagged? Basically, you need to answer the 3 questions that I'm going to pose to you, and if you can't or won't answer these questions, you just do the dare that I set for you. After you get done with your 3 questions or with doing the dare on YouTube, then you will pick 5 people to continue the tagging game with. You will then give these 5 people 3 questions for them to answer, and these can be as serious or as silly and ridiculous as you want them to be. And then you choose a dare for them to do on YouTube if they choose not to answer the 3 questions you've asked them. Now, there are some basic rules for choosing these questions and setting the dare. The overlying rule being keep healthy boundaries. Now this means don't ask ultra-personal questions, and don't choose a dare that is going to be humiliating or demeaning in any way. The last rule for the Winwin tagging game is no tag backs. If you know a person has already been tagged for the Winwin game, they are off limits. So here are the 3 questions that I've come up with to ask you. Question number 1. Choose one item in the kitchen that best describes your personality and tell us why. Second question. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why would you choose it? And then the last question is tell us 3 unique things about yourself, 2 of which are true and 1 which is a lie, and then leave us guessing as to which one is the incorrect fact about yourself. And if you choose not to answer these questions or can't answer all of them or don't want to answer all of them, the dare that I have for you is to choose one Michael Jackson song from the 80s and either sing it or lip sync it on YouTube for us. And don't forget the purple glove. Have fun with it. I look forward to seeing your answers.